it down.
Yes guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video, and in this video we pick up where we left off in part 1, which was removing the bumper, and in this video we are going to be fitting some wire mesh. So the mesh I've got is down here. I'll leave a link in the description where you can get it from, but this mesh is literally going to go behind this part, so behind the center part of the grille and the left hand side of the grille, which exposes both the radiator and I think that's the air to water cooler or something like that on the left, which obviously on 68 plate onwards it came with that rock mesh cover, but for some reason they decided not to. And whenever people have issues or leaking or anything like that, BMW are just the first to say no, we didn't do it. But yeah, also it stops loads of rubbish, so I found loads of leaves behind the radiator along with the Brexit plans, which are very, very tricky. Hence why we're still struggling. But yeah, let's get into the video. Alright, so yes, as I said, this is part 2, so if you haven't watched that video, I'll leave a little notification up here for you to watch that. The bumper has been removed, and what we're going to do, we're going to work from the backhand side of the bumper and literally cut the mesh to size and stick some zip ties, cable ties on the back just to tie it down. Very simple mod. There is a fella that's done this already on YouTube, so I'll leave a link to his video as well. But yeah, let's get straight into it. Alright, so using a trim tool, I'm literally going to pick at the little bits here, and that's going to allow me to lift up this, and then we'll be able to stick down our mesh. Alright, so as you can see, it has come off, so we've now got this bit out of the way. All I was just using this pick tool here, simply pressing up against these things right here, pushing them out of the way all around, and then I was able to remove it. So I'm going to do the same on this side. Alright, so as you can see, I've now removed both of them. I don't know what they are, but it look like they channel air, and now the whole grille is exposed. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to measure it up, and I'm going to cut the mesh to size, and then I will be using cable ties to tie it down. Alright, so as you can see, we've managed to kind of cut it to shape along the side here. It is tricky, I'm not going to lie to you, but luckily I've got Dan to help me out down here at Dub Customs. What I'm going to use, we're going to use a lining tape just to line the inside, and then we'll take it off and then cut it along the top. But yeah, it's very tricky, but luckily, like I said, I've got the boys down at Dub to help me out. Okay, so as you can see, the mesh has now been fitted. We've managed to curve it round, not we, Dan at Dub Customs obviously, guys, so again, big shout out to these guys. We've cut it to size, so what I'd recommend is if you have the time, measure this out indoors, and then that way you can cut it down, and then that way you don't waste your whole day. So literally do it indoors, measure it up with a tape measure, cut it to size, and then stick it down. And again, pop these back on so they're in nice and firm. We might use some tiger seal just to make sure it does stay there, because obviously where we've used the same sort of guidelines in here, it might slip out, but it's in nice and firm, everything's clicked in. We're going to use the same method over here, and then we'll be sticking the bumper back on the car. Alright, so the whole mesh has been done here. Again, big shout out to Dub Customs, Dan in particular, who's helped me fit this. I've also done the same on the right side, on the left side rather, if you're looking from the front of the car where that little rad is. So yeah, that has as much protection as possible. Now all I'm going to do, I'm literally going to use some cable ties just to pull it towards the front of the engine. That way we're getting as much tightness as possible. As you can see, the mesh has now been installed. Again, I don't know how many times I've got to say, but big shout out to Dub. If you are thinking of doing this yourself, just bear in mind you will need around a day. Advice, I'd say to like measure it all up and cut it before the day you decide to fit it, because if you try and measure and cut on the same day, you probably will get a bit frustrated and give up halfway like I did, and then obviously you kind of feel like you've wasted a day. But yeah, cable ties are on. I don't know how well you can see them, but again, with them being black, you really can't really notice. And again, this is all in preparation for the track day, just to ensure I don't get any like stone chips on the radiator and whatnot. Probably will be PPF in the bumper as well at some point, but for now it looks absolutely amazing. So yeah, gonna whack that back on the car, and if you are like worrying how to put it back on, obviously you should have known because you took it off, but yeah, the video will be in the description on how to remove the bumper. But yes guys, that is the video. Subscribe, give it a like if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless.